Alright, instant preface. I hate politics. I don't like talking about politics. I really don't like dealing with politics. It numbs my mind in bad ways. But recently I saw this tweet. On the left is Somalia's flag. On the right is Minnesota's new state flag that Tim Walz revealed in January. He turned his home state into Somalia, and now he wants to do the same to our country. Now, putting aside the political attack and the wild conspiracy theory, I decided to look at the new Minnesota state flag next to the Somalian flag to see if there's any basis at all, any foundation to this argument. I want to do it strictly on the basis of design. I'm not going to talk about anyone's politics, I don't care. Right off the bat, it's clear both flags have blue and stars, but that's where the similarities end. Just a quick glance at both flags should make this clear, with the Minnesota flag having a dark blue field on the left side in which it houses a left-aligned 8-pointed star, with a more aqua blue on the right side. The dark blue field is a concave pentagon that represents a simplified version of the shape of Minnesota, while the aqua blue represents the lakes of Minnesota. The 8-pointed star represents the North Star Polaris because Minnesota is known as the North Star State. Quick fun fact, the company Polaris, known for their recreational vehicles, is based in Minnesota. Then, looking at the Somalian flag, it has a white-centered aligned 5-pointed star in a sky blue field. The 5-pointed star is supposed to represent 5 important groups of Somali people found in the regions around present-day Somalia and, of course, in Somalia itself. Even throwing both flags into Adobe Illustrator makes it really clear really quick that the colors aren't even close to the same. When looking at the blues, the flag of Somalia has a hex value of 4089DD, and the flag of Minnesota having the hex values of 002D5D for the dark blue, and 52C9E8 for the aqua blue. The flag of Minnesota is also almost half dark blue, half aqua, with the actual pentagon's points passing the halfway point. In other words, it's almost half and half. It's not even one solid color at all. The aqua blue just barely takes up more of the flag than the dark blue does. If anything, Minnesota's flag almost has more in common with just a double colored flag. So okay, from a design perspective, they're barely similar, but just the comparison between these two flags really isn't enough for some people, so let's take this a step further. I have compiled a collection of the flags of every independent nation that has at least one star fully within a blue field. The star has to be fully within the blue. Other colors can be present, but we'll touch on that in a bit. Here we have the flags of Australia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Brazil, Cabo Verde, Chile, Central African Republic, Democratic Republic of the Congo, the European Union, and while not a country but instead an alliance, I still thought it interesting to put it on here, Honduras, and Israel, which are exceptions to the rule, but I'll explain why in a bit, Kazakhstan, Kosovo, and I know the Serbians aren't exactly going to be quite happy with my inclusion of Kosovo, but I don't care, Liberia, Malaysia, the Marshall Islands, the Federated States of Micronesia, New Zealand, Nauru, Namibia, Panama, which doesn't actually follow the rule at all, and there's not much more to explain there, it just looks really cool. Puerto Rico, which isn't an independent nation but still applies with its design. Rwanda, Samoa, Taiwan, Tuvalu, the United States, Uzbekistan, and Venezuela. Alright, right off the bat, there are a lot of flags that have stars encased in a blue field. It's really not a unique design choice, it's quite common.
But wait, there's flags you included that has the sun. The sun is a star, dipshits.
Let's quickly observe the two exceptions to the rule, Honduras and Israel. Honduras uses a similar aqua blue to Minnesota, but has a completely different layout. However, it does have a center-aligned star with 4 satellite stars. You could almost argue this would be a bit closer design-wise to Somalia's flag than Minnesota's is, and that's already pushing it. Then there's Israel, who only has 1 center-aligned star and also only uses white and blue. It does include 2 horizontal blue stripes as well. Right off the bat, the Israeli flag shows more similarities to the Somalian flag than even the Minnesota flag does. A quick color invert will show that these two flags aren't so far off, but of course, I'm not fucking stupid, and I can see the very distinct differences, such as the fact that the 5-pointed star of Somalia, which again represents 5 groups of Somali people, is a different star than the 6-pointed star of David used in the Israeli flag. I can also see with my own 2 eyes the difference in blues being used. Similarities don't equate to inspiration. It's kind of like a square and rectangle situation, where not all similarities are caused by inspiration, yet pretty much all inspiration will lead to some similarities, even if they're small similarities. So as for all our flags, first let's remove the flags that have the star a different color than white. Next, let's remove the flags that have more than 3 colors on the flag, just to narrow it down slightly. Okay. So just with these first 2 eliminations, we've cut out more than half of the nation's flags we have, being left with only 11. Even here, there's so many vast differences, despite these flags sharing a similar aspect. In fact, just looking at all of these, just to speed this all up, the only flag that really is close at all is the flag of the Federated States of Micronesia, which still utilizes a different blue and has 4 5-pointed stars orbiting around the center, rather than 1 star taking up the center space. My point with all of this is that flags will always have similarities, because we as people, just in general, as a species, get inspired by similar things. The amount of flags that exist that use blue to represent the sky or some body of water is insane. And I'm not even talking just about country flags, state flags, city flags, territory flags. There's a bunch of them that use blue to represent either of those 2 things. If you see blue on a flag, that's probably what it's going to represent. There are even flag families. For example, the Stars and Stripes family, which is the flag family that the US flag is a part of. This flag family consists of Chile, Cuba, Greece, Liberia, Malaysia, Togo, the US, and Uruguay. Off the rip, the US, Liberia, and Malaysia have nearly identical flags. And I know there's a couple people, my fellow Americans, that are probably feeling a great deal of American patriotism right now, seeing, oh damn, we got 2 other countries that are copying our flag identically. They must want to be like us. Unfortunately, history is going to burst your bubble a little bit here. Liberia did indeed get inspired by the US flag, as the country was founded by freed American and Caribbean slaves, but Malaysia was not inspired by the US at all. Malaysia got its flag design from the same inspiration that gave the US its flag design, the British East India Company. The company had its hands in both the US and the area that is present-day Malaysia, inspiring both countries to adopt a similar flag design for their newfound independence. Is the US now becoming Malaysia? Is it becoming Cuba? Is it becoming British again? No, not at all. They come from the same source of inspiration. Naturally, they're going to take a similar route. Texas is another example. The Lone Star flag was adopted in 1839 by the Republic of Texas, then re-adopted in 1933 as the Texas state flag. But it's funny because it shares a nearly identical layout and color scheme to the flag of Chile, which was adopted in 1817. So is Texas now becoming Chile? Does Texas not want to be American? Well, actually, for a bit there, they really didn't want to be American. But, you know, we all got past that argument as a country. But my point is that while the flags of Chile and Texas are nearly identical, they have almost nothing to do with each other. The designs don't really have any correlation in terms of how they were brought up. And they're even more similar than Minnesota's flag or Somalia's flag ever will be. All in all, I think that if you're going to make a political argument at all, but especially like this, please, for the love of God, make sure it's an actual good argument, because this one is just downright stupid. And I don't even see why you need a designer to tell you that. It should be clear just by looking at the 2 flags. We might be cooked, honestly, if this is the best we can come up with. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, follow me on my socials. All those links are down in the description. And I hope that wherever you guys are, whenever you guys are watching today's video, you have a great, wonderful day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.